So welcome everyone. My name's Anthony, if it's your first time here, and today's class is called Easy Yoga Lying on the Floor. So, of course, the term easy is relative, right? This practice wouldn't be easy for me when I first started. But I'm talking about an introduction to moving from standing with a chair down to the mat. Okay, so starting on the mat on the ground, and then we'll eventually stand up, moving there. It's also a great practice if your hips are tight or you just want to work on your hips a little bit, opening the hips. This is a great hip opening practice. Okay, great to do in the morning, especially opening the hips before you get started. So I will offer some suggestions throughout if you want to have a block nearby, if you use props in your practice, just for child's pose and maybe one or two other postures. If you want to use it, it's not required, but modifications are always available if you need them, okay? Remember, feel free to change and modify as feels right for you. Always listen to your body. And let's begin in a comfortable seated position. You could sit on your block if you want to. Let's get started. Begin by letting your eyes softly close and soften your whole face. Relax your forehead, your eyes, and just allow your body to breathe on its own, however that is. And then begin focusing your breath down in your abdomen, your belly. Just focusing on softening front, sides, even the back of the abdomen, around your spine. Try to really allow yourself to expand, so be aware of any resistance to your inhale in the abdomen. And then try to consciously soften those areas and allow your abdomen to freely expand as you breathe. Of course, the ribs will move, the chest will move, that's fine. But try to focus down in your abdomen, beginning the breath down there. And try to make your breath as soft as you can, as smooth as you can. If you like to practice with a little constriction in your throat, just so you can hear the sound of your own breathing, feel free to do that. Just making that sound as smooth as you can. Remember, the breath is always the longer the better, the slower the better. Right? So it's always working towards meditation or a meditative state of practicing. Think of it more like Tai Chi than like exercise, right? Always long, smooth breaths, longer the better. Never forcing, but naturally. And then bring your hands resting on your knees. And exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. Inhale, roll your left ear over to your left shoulder, softening your right shoulder down. Exhale, chin down to your chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. Continue alternating sides with your own breath at your own pace. Remember, it's okay throughout. Your breath is a little faster than mine, a little slower. That means your movements are a little faster, a little slower. That's fine. Prioritize moving with your body. Listen to your body. It knows what to do. Exhale down. And inhale up, palms together overhead, lengthen around your ribs. Exhale, hands to your heart. Bring hands resting on your knees. And then begin circling from your hips in either direction is fine. Focus on keeping the opposite sitting bone down on the ground and moving from the crease below your buttocks. Exhaling forward, inhaling upright. And then reverse direction, rotating the other way, focusing on moving from below your buttocks. Right, try to keep in mind throughout the practice, pain is never good, so sharpness, sharp sensations, of course, it's the body telling us don't do that. But going out of your comfort zone, right, expanding the capabilities of the body, it's going to be uncomfortable, right? So discomfort is okay, but pain is not, right? So listen to your body and distinguish between the two. Only try to go until you feel the sensation of the stretch. Inhale upright. And then we're going to swing the feet around and come to hands and knees. So bring your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Splay your fingers nice and wide and press the tips of your fingers strong down into the ground a bit. Inhale, tilt your tailbone towards the ceiling. Draw down your back and lift your chest. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your back and drop your head. Try to move from your middle back, the place between your shoulder blades and below your shoulder blades. Inhale, draw down your back, engage below your shoulder blades, using as little bit of your neck as you can. And exhale, round your back, spreading the shoulder blades apart, pressing into your hands. And continue alternating directions with your own breath at your own pace. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, begin circling your hips in either direction. Feel free to adjust the width of your knees so it feels right for your body. Try to slow down as you come out to the side so you're focusing on the glute, the butt muscle, stretching the butt muscle. If this isn't comfortable for the knees, you can bring a towel under your knees or kneel on something like a bolster, a small bolster. And then reverse direction, circling the other way. Inhale to center, and then begin blending those two movements, however feels good for your body. So arching and rounding with the hip circling, however feels good for you. However your body wants to stretch. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, splay your knees apart. Bring your toes together and press back to child's pose, reaching your arms forward, resting the forehead on the ground. Now, if the forehead doesn't touch the ground, you can use a block under your forehead or a towel, something. And same with the seat. If the seat isn't comfortable coming back towards your heels or the knees are uncomfortable, you can use a block under your seat to sit on. Make it a little higher to sit on. You can also use a rolled up towel behind your knees if that feels good, so experiment. See what feels right for your body. There's always a modification for everything, for every posture. So just be creative. You can look it up online or write me and ask me. And then bringing all your attention to your breath while we hold. Inhale. Bring your left hand on top of your right hand. Walk your hands out to the right a bit. And exhale, press your seat away from your hands, resting your head down on the ground or the block. and softening the whole left side of your torso, especially around your ribs, and breathing into the breathing into the left side of your rib cage. Try to feel like you're trying to spread the ribs apart as you inhale. Deep breaths. Inhale, bring your hands to center. And exhale, bring your right hand on top of your left hand, walk out to your left, and then press your seat away. Lengthening the side of your torso and abdomen, resting the head on the floor of the block. Consciously breathing into the right side of your rib cage like you're trying to spread the ribs apart with your breath. Long, smooth breaths. As we're holding in the practice, try to let the breath fully fill the mind. So focusing almost like it's hypnotizing the mind, right? Feeling that beautiful sensation, that smooth flow of breath. And if it isn't like that right now, it'll get like that with time. So just focus on consciously breathing. Long, smooth breaths. Inhale, bring your hands to center and come up to hands and knees. Inhale, lift your left arm and open to your left. Try not to twist in your low back, but just opening around your ribs inside of your abdomen here. Exhale, bring your hand down under your shoulder. Inhale, lift your right arm, opening towards your right. Try not to twist in the low back. Focus on opening your ribs. And exhale down. Continue with your breath. Inhaling left. Exhaling down. Inhaling right. Exhaling down. Inhale one more time each side. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands in front of your shoulders a bit. And exhale, press your seat back, reaching your arms forward. So focusing on opening the chest and the armpit area. You can rest the head on the floor if it's comfortable, or you can use a block under your head. Breathing here. Try to find a comfortable balance between walking the hands forward. So try not to walk the hands forward so much that you feel tension in the backs of the shoulders and can't relax the shoulders. And then try not to walk the hands back so far that there's no stretch in the chest or shoulders. But find a comfortable balance. Feel your body breathing. Inhale, come up to hands and knees, have wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. And then swing your feet around and come to your seat. You can face either direction. I'm going to turn this way just so you can see me clearly. So begin with your legs out, wide angle. Again here, you can have knees bent. So if there's any sharpness behind your knees, bend your knees a bit. You can even use a little tail under your knees or the blocks under your knees. Draw your toes back towards your shins and try to keep your toes pointing up towards the ceiling as much as you can. A lot of times you see the feet try to rotate outward and stay out that way, or inward, more outward than inward, but it happens. So try to focus on keeping them straight towards the ceiling so you're stretching both sides of your thighs evenly, right? Not just the one side. Hands can be behind you, fingers pointing away from your body. Press into the bases of your palms and lift your chest. Exhale, press yourself forward. Now, if you feel a stretch here, that's fine. Stay here and breathe. Otherwise, you can bring the hands around front and walk forward more. If you lift your hands and you feel discomfort in your low back, then don't lift your hands, keep them behind. You can pressing and supporting from behind. You can fold pretty far down, keeping the hands behind you. Okay? So focus on the sensation of the stretch as we hold, where you feel, what it feels like, and the breath. Long, smooth breaths. And it's just like you're observing the process of the stretch happening. Right? You're not doing anything. We're just coming to this position, breathing, and observing the breath, observing the sensation of the stretch, observing how it changes as we breathe. Right? There's so much to watch inside, so many subtleties. So feel that. And then you're observing the process happen, so don't worry about how far you go ever. It doesn't matter. It's the breath that matters. Right? The observation, the awareness of what you're doing now. That's what makes the posture work. That's what makes the healing work. So breathe and soften any unnecessary tension, just using what you need. Try to relax around the area you're stretching. And if you feel some natural release, some natural opening, then go further. But try to look at it more like you're putting your body in the position, breathing, and just waiting for some opening to happen, rather than trying to make something happen. Because if you try to pull into the posture, or push into the posture, or force in any way, the body's going to naturally resist, right? It's going to tense up and try to resist that, right? Because you're forcing. So just go a little bit, and then breathe. And then if you feel a release, your body feels safe, it softens, and then you go a bit further. And you gradually, patience. And inhale, slowly come up. Then if you're already facing the front of the mat, just bring your feet together. Otherwise, swing towards the front of the mat. Bring legs straight out. Toes again, drawing back, pointing towards the ceiling. Now if you have a strap, you can use a strap for this posture, just wrapping it around your feet. You can use a belt as well, or a rope, anything, You can bring hands behind you again, fingers pointing away. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, just come forward as much as is comfortable from below your buttocks, crease below your buttocks. Then inhale, come up. Exhale forward, just until you feel the stretch, and inhale up. Exhale forward. If you have the strap, you just use the strap. Inhale up. And then exhale, fold. Now hands can rest by the legs. They can stay behind you, pressing yourself forward if that feels better for your body. Legs can be bent. Knees can be very generously bent in this posture, actually. You'll still be stretching the hamstrings. Try to focus in the crease below the buttocks. Right? So you can go like this. Really bend the knees. If there's any sharpness behind the knees, bend the knees. Doesn't have to be that much, but you can use a blanket, a little towel underneath your knees to rest your knees on. And breathe in here. Belly, ribs, and chest. Pressing your seat down. If legs are straight, to go deeper, you can gently engage the tops of your thighs and draw the space below your navel in towards your spine. And long, smooth breaths. Feel the movement of the breath in your body. And feel how this area you're stretching changes as you breathe, getting a bit more intense or deeper as you inhale. And softening, releasing, opening up with your exhale. Take a few breaths, enjoying your breath, enjoying the sensation of the stretch. And inhale, slowly come up. Bring your feet flat on the ground. Hands around your knees and roll down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. You can rock side to side, circle your knees in either direction, relax your back. And then bring feet flat on the floor and let your legs slide up. Draw just your right knee in. Draw in towards your chest as far as comfortable. Then let your knee come out towards your armpit a bit, deepening the stretch. Try to soften the inside of your right hip crease. Breathe, belly, ribs, and chest. Just softening for a moment. Doesn't matter how high your knee comes. Bring your left hand to outside of right knee. Bring your right hand out at shoulder height, palm facing up. And exhale, bring your knee over towards your left. Now try to only go so far as you can without lifting the back of your right shoulder off the ground. So try to feel the stretch on your right chest muscle as well. Head can look in the opposite direction of the knee, relaxing your neck. Try to soften between your hips and ribs, soften the outside of your right hip, thigh, and glute. Breathing, belly, ribs, and chest. Try to focus in your hip joint rather than in your low back. So no twisting in your sacrum area. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable for your back. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let your right leg come out. Draw your left knee in towards your chest as far as comfortable. And then let your knee come out towards your armpit. Up as high as is comfortable, softening the inside of your left hip crease. Breathe. And then bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Left hand out at shoulder height, palm facing up. And bring your knee over towards your right. Head relaxing in the opposite direction of your knee. Try to keep the back of the left shoulder on the ground so you feel left chest muscle stretching. Softening between hips and ribs and the outside of your left hip, thigh, glute. Again, try not to feel twisting in your low back, but focus on the joint, the hip joint, and between your hips and ribs, so above your sacrum area, above your hips. Feel your body breathing. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Bring your head towards your knees like you're rolling into a ball. And inhale, bring your legs straight out, arms overhead, full body stretch. And exhale, bring your hands down by your sides for Shavasana. Hands can be face down, palms facing up. You can walk your shoulder blades together a bit, relax your back into the ground. And just focus on your natural breath now, letting go of the 3-part breath. Just however your body wants to breathe on its own if you let go. And just soften your whole forehead. Relax all the small muscles around your eyes, your eyebrows. Relax your cheeks and soften your whole jaw from ear to ear. Feel your body's contact points with the ground, the backs of the arms and shoulders, the backs of the legs and heels, the glutes, the lower back, middle and upper back and the head. And try to soften in all those points, like you're softening into a bed, like the ground is softening around you. Letting go of any unnecessary tension in the body, completely soft, letting go. natural breath. And try to remember the sensation of heaviness in your body. And with each exhale, letting your body soften a little bit more into the ground, relaxing down, feeling like the body's sinking into the ground. And just focus on that natural movement of expansion and contraction as your body breathes on its own. Just watching your body lying still, watching your body breathing. If thought comes in, then just letting that go, letting it be there, don't push it away. Just come back to your breath, that sensation in your body, expansion and contraction. Try not to resist anything, don't push anything away. Just observing, feeling, everything's okay. Watch your breath. And if you'd like to stay here longer, feel free to do that, continuing to watch your breath. Otherwise, slowly beginning to deepen your breath, belly, ribs, and chest. And if you feel ready to move, making small movements with hands and feet. You like reaching your arms overhead, taking a full body stretch. And exhale, draw your knees into your chest. And roll over to your side, either side. And just taking a few breaths here. And when you feel ready, pressing up to your seat. So thank you all for practicing with me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. If you have any questions about modifications or anything that was mentioned in the class, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll get back to you, okay? So if you have any suggestions about things you'd like to see or things you need help with in your practice, let me know. If I know, I'll be happy to help, okay? So until next time, take care and happy practicing.